Hello everybody, welcome along to the final round of the URC Season 3, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We've read it up a little bit early by the looks of things, so we'll have to get right into this one. It's a sprint race tonight, and we've got two championships, or second place in the Drivers' Championship with Fungus having run away with the title in the last couple of races. It's a championship fight between Gap F1 and Vickers F1, the Constructors' Championship. 40 points separating them, so it's going to be a big push from Vickers in order to take the title. Looks like something's gone wrong in the chat, so I'm going to intermission one moment. Alright, here we go again. The intermission now over. We've got our lobby restart up. So again, reminder of the championship scenario. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, a 3-way fight per second between Dark Gopher, Legion Mist, and Diamond. The three of them separated by 3 points, so whoever finishes highest of those three, more or less, will take second place. And in terms of Constructors, it's more a formality at this point that Gap F1 will win the championship. However, Vickers F1 have been making a miraculous comeback and are 40 points out from the championship lead. So a good race from tonight could theoretically see them take the Constructors' Championships. It's all still to play for in what should be a very exciting final round, and it's a sprint race here on a newly modified Abu Dhabi circuit. I, for one, much prefer the changes that they've made for F1 22. So yeah, I'll pause the game. Hopefully no one will ready up too early. I'll be able to have a start on our hands. Make sure to put us down in the chat who you think will win tonight's race. It should be very, very entertaining. And who will end up second in the Drivers' Championship, and who's going to win the Constructors. Me personally, as much as I'd like to see Vickers F1 try and take the title, just a simple last day comeback, it does seem like more likely that Gap F1 will take the title. DH Motorsport holding on to third place, 295 points to their name, lost out their chances to contend for the title in this last race. Only 8 points scored in Brazil compared to the 50 that Gap F1 scored with their dominant performance as has been the last few races. They're currently holding off Prawn GP for 4th, and Jana Express more or less guaranteed to finish in 5th place in the Constructors. They're looking to try and bounce back from that in this last race, try and potentially score some unlikely, a good unlikely finish. So it should be very fun to watch. We're just waiting now for the next few minutes for them to ready up. We'll see the 30-second countdown for them to get underway. It should be a very, very exciting race. Make sure to stick around. We're just waiting now to get underway. And here we go now. The sprint about to get underway. It's a reverse grid, to my knowledge. So we'll see some chaos here on this opening lap. 5 red lights. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, the formation lap first. As we get underway, I'm too used to being in other leagues seeing a broadcast formation lap, which is none at all. Right, so in terms of this starting grid then, we'll start from the back. Sander at the back there, starting last for running up too early the first time round. It's Mag User starting in 90s. He's had a very impressive run these last few races. Mars Bar in 18th. Fungus there in 17th. Already wrapping up the title. Looking to try and finish this season off strong with a win in the sprint and the race itself. Gopher back there in 16th. Legion Mist 15th. Diamond 14th. Those three fighting for second place in the Drivers' Championship. Biddley 13th for DH. Jono in 12th. Saint in 11th place. And into the top 10 now. Sean in 10th. Revenge in 9th. Yoki starting on the inside of row 4. He's there in 8th. Jones 7th. It's Yorkie in 5th. SMA, the highest qualifying, well, not the highest qualifying, but highest starting DH driver in 5th. Maxwell there in 4th. Brookieman 3rd. Darth Grey Fox in 2nd. And Gingy starts on the pole position for tonight's sprint. So for those of you who don't know, the sprint will line up the grid for the main race itself, which would be a 50% one. But 10 laps around the Abu Dhabi circuit for the sprint in tonight's race. It'll be definitely a help for the Gap F1 team to have one of their drivers there on pole position, get some early points in the bag there, just to help them increase that cushion for the sprint itself. So excuse me, for the race. They're just waiting now for them to make their way around. Shouldn't be any stops short of damage, unless if something goes wrong on the first lap, which we hope it won't. Although I definitely wouldn't put it past anyone in league racing. I've seen a number of safety cars in different sprint races. As Gingy now, the first car out the last corners, take his place at the front of the grid, ready for the start of the race itself. Sander starting last, is making his way through the last couple of corners now. Onto their tyres, that last bit, get himself Darth Grey Fox lining up, potentially moving to turn 1. Brookieman there in 3rd. Maxwell lining up alongside. In terms of the tyres, this one, F1 starting on the medium, so we shouldn't see any changes, as I say. So medium tyres for everybody. Magius are disqualified for going a bit over on playing his car on the grid. So waiting now just to get underway. The sprint race, the final sprint race of URC Season 3 here in Abu Dhabi. It's 5 red lights. Lights out, foot to the floor, and we are underway. Decent getaway from Gingy there on the right as they charge towards that first corner. He's already got the advantage over Darth Grey Fox into turn 1 at Esamena. Around the outside, he's gained a number of places there. Through turn 1, one of the DH cars going a bit wide in the back there. Saint, Biddley, Jones all there alongside each other while Esamena pulls away from them, but it's Gingy who has the lead off the start. Revenge for the back up there into 6th place. So a car going wide further back, and that does not look good. I'm not sure who that was. They've rejoined without issue. Oh, we've got a spinner there, and that was Yorkie. Sorry, that wasn't Yorkie. That was Brookieman who's gone around. He's fallen back to the 8th spot now. He's got Saint on his tail. Yorkie right behind him. But these two going side by side. They've got the 2 DH cars around the outside of Yorkie there. Great run from those green machines to make their way up towards that next left-hander. There goes Saint around the outside of Brookie now into the corner they go. Who's going to get later on the brakes? Looks like Brookie's going to have the edge for the time being. Go around the outside, gets better traction than Saint and gets away for it to take away or hold on to P8 for the time being. Genji's pulled away to a brilliant advantage here. Esamena and Max going side by side for 3rd place here. Who's going to be first on the brakes into the chicane? Into the left-hander. It's Maxwell who gets the edge, and keep an eye on Revenge just behind them here. He's done a brilliant opening lap, and looks to continue that now. Getting around the outside of Esamena. A brilliant move there. It's not quite finished yet, though. Bit of contact between the two, and Revenge almost going a little bit wide, but he's managed to hold on to the car, but may have to cede in the fight for P4, but he's not given up. He's still there underneath, and he's made it work. So move Revenge up into P4. Max there in 3rd. Darth Grey Fox closing back in on Gingy, who will lead the opening lap of this sprint. Very exciting first lap. So have a look at position gain here. The driver who's gained the most places as of right now is Biddley there for DH. And the driver who's lost out the most is Sean Gregory, who runs in 19th. He's lost 9 places on the start. Things now settling down a little bit here. Esamena trying to hold on to 5th place. He's got Yorkie there behind him. Yellow flag further back. And that is Joe. That's a big crash there further back. Oh, that's a shambles there through turn number 3. And is that a safety car? It's just, yes it is. Safety car has been deployed. 4 cars just like that. We didn't catch much of it. Yorkie, Saint, Diamond and Jones all out just like that. And that is not the way you want to start the final race of the season. 4 cars out on the spot just like that. Like I say, unfortunately, we didn't catch much of it. But a safety car out for the first time tonight. Tell you what, one driver's definitely got an advantage, and that is Sander. He's up 10 places now. He started dead last. He's now up into 10th. There's 2 points out from the points paying places. Marshall back there in 11th place. Let's see if anyone's got damage. It looks like Jono's got a broken front wing. I saw him getting a piece of that, which is unfortunate. I have to pit to repair that. I shouldn't think we'll see anyone else into the pits. I mean, I wouldn't put it past anyone to perhaps try and come in for a fresh change, despite a loss of track position. But it does look like everyone's going to stay out here, which is fully expected, and we'll see Jono into the pits in just a few moments' time to repair that front wing. We see Mars behind as well, so I'm not sure if he's got damage in some way. Not that I saw. Sean Gregory in as well, so that's 3 cars into the pits here. That might just be a simple tyre change. Looks like it's going to be damage repairing for all 3 of them, obviously for Jono. It's soft tyres for Sean. He leaves the pits now. So it's just a tyre stop, but all 3 of them now on soft tyres. That could give them a bit of an advantage when we get to the restart. They'll have lost track position, but they'll be on those faster, fresher tyres by just a few laps compared to the rest of the pack. Gingy got away brilliantly on the start, so he leads. Darth Grey Fox in 2nd place. Revenge in 3rd. Maxwell 4th. Esamena there in 5th. Yorkie 6th. Billy 7th. Brookie holding on to the last points paying position as of right now. It's Legion 9th and Sander in 10th. So things aren't looking too good then for Diamond in his hopes to try and take 2nd in the Drivers' Championship. He's going to lose potentially a bit of ground if Legion gets himself up into the points. If I have a look here at the Drivers' Championship standings, Legion 1 point off of Gopher. Gopher who runs in P... 1 moment. Oh, sorry, I'm losing my mind. Gopher who runs in P13. Really not used to this grid. I have to, commentary-wise. So it'll take a while for me to actually get into the swing of things. But yeah, so Gopher there in 13th. Legion in 9th. And Diamond out of the race already. So as of right now, nothing will change in that respect. But 1 point from this sprint will be enough to tie Gopher and Legion. On to lap number 4 now of this race. We're just waiting. Just waiting now for Jono to come around. We've got a few more cars in the pits here. Magusa and Gopher both in. So soft tyres, I'm assuming, going on both cars here. Yep, that is correct. Away they both go. So they're going now both out of the pits. So with the last 2 cars to Jono, please get ready for the restart again. So I have 16 cars left in the running when we get back underway here. We'll have 6 more laps to go. There's still plenty of time for action. It's just the same things ended the way they did on that first run. But hopefully we'll still have a very exciting restart lined up for you. How will Darth Grey Fox try and get himself into the lead? How will Gingy handle leading the restart? There are a number of places where you can get going on a restart here at the Yas Marina circuit. Have to be careful not to get run over by the pack behind him. And there's the message that, as I expected, safety car in this lap. So now we're just waiting for when the leader chooses to go. Will Gingy try and bunch up the pack, or will he try and get away as soon as he can? Remains to be seen. I should be getting going when they leave the hotel section here. 5 cars back there on soft tyres. I have to watch them as they charge through the field. Gingy just waiting to get going again. There's the safety car. Not yet back in the pits. When does he choose to go? Will he go out the last corner? Will he try and go here? He's backing them up, so he's going to wait to get out his way into the final turn. And off the corner of the top 3, gotten away here, and Gingy's off. Not quite the restart he might have wanted. Darth Grey Fox right there behind him. He might try and laugh and move into turn 1 if he goes late enough on the brakes. Not quite. Gingy just holds off the lead for the time being. Everything nice and calm here. Single files to begin again on lap number 5. 3/10 separating Darth from Gingy here. He's going to try and laugh and move into turn number 5. There he goes. Darth Grey Fox on the inside takes the lead away. As Estimator further back trying to pass Maxwell. Will Gingy use the battery to come back at Darth Grey Fox as they charge down towards that left-hander? We side by side. It's all a question of who gets on the brakes first. Darth Grey Fox will get traction around the outside. Should get traction. He's gone a little bit wide there, so he's going to get away with that probably with a warning. But he's got the lead, and that's what's important to him for the time being. Here comes Revenge trying to make a move around the outside. Revengezilla going at it. Going towards the left-hander now. And Estimator further back being challenged by Yorkie. He's trying to battle Maxwell himself. He's stuck around the outside. There goes Estimator at the inside. Oh, and around they all go! No damage done to either car. But oh, and that is not nice. And that's Max out of the race. Mars Bar carries on. He's been shunted into by his own teammate. And that is not what you want happening on a day where they're just trying to score points. And that is not how you wanted things to go. Of course, Max, things aren't over for him. He's still got his Vickers F1 cars in the race that stands. But the safety car back out. And so we're going to be left with a late race restart, if anything. But Max out of the race. And that's very unfortunate for the Jana Express cars. However, they still got both the other 2 Jana cars in the points. Mars back into the pits now for a fresh front wing. Magusa also in for a front wing. And Essamena, who I think may have picked up damage in that scrap, out of the pit lane. I'm assuming he had damage repaired, and he's on medium tyres now, so he's not going back onto softs. So he's saving. I think he's probably going to save softs for the race. But yeah, 5 cars now out of the race, and we're left with 15. Good to see a full grid in these times where league racing in other areas is struggling attendance-wise. So it's always good to see a dedicated group of individuals in league racing like this. However, this race hasn't quite gone how we might have expected. We are waiting now for Essamena, Magusa and Marsbar to catch up to the back of the pack. So I'm not thinking we're getting going this time. It's a bit too early for that. Right then, so let's have a look at the order as of right now. At the end of lap number 6, so Darth Grey Fox now leads the way. Revenge Seller in 2nd place, Gingy 3rd, Bidley in 4th, Brookie 5th, Yorkie in 6th, Legion 7th. He's now got the 2 points he needs to actually move clear of Gopher in the Drivers' Championship. He's up to 2nd now, and standing there in 8th, the last point scorer. Fungus is in 9th, Jono 10th, Sean 11th, Gopher 12th, Essamena 13th, Magusa 14th, Marsbar 15th. Of course, we've lost Maxwell, Yorkie, Saint, Diamond, and Jones. So every team, apart from Gap F1, have actually lost cars in this race so far. In DH's case, unfortunately, they've lost 2. For Jana, they've lost 1. Prawn GP, they've also lost 1. And Vickers F1 are also down to 3 cars. So it's just Gap F1 with all 4 of their machines still in the race, and 2 of them up there in the points. 3 of them in the top 10, the only exception being Magusa down in 12th. Essamena and Jono out the pits. It's another stop for the DH car. And I'm hoping he'll be able to catch him in time for us to get going. Looking like we'll have a 3-lap shootout here to decide this sprint race. Hasn't been much in the way of action up front, save for the restart last time round, with Darth Grey Fox getting the lead off of Gingy into turn 5. So wait now for the message from the safety car and race control to be in this lap, so we can have our last few laps of racing. Darth Grey Fox, the current leader, trying to score Jana some points. It's more or less guaranteed they'll finish in last place, but I'd like to reduce that deficit to 4th as much as they can. So we get ready now for this restart. Where will Darth choose to go? Will he make a move out of the hotel section, or will he wait to the last corner like Gingy did to try and get away? Waiting now. There's a safety car coming for the last couple of corners, so not yet. Out of that last corner is going to be where he chooses to, where he gets to go. Safety car in, 3 more laps to decide the Abu Dhabi sprint race. We're underway on lap number 8, 3 more to go. Revengezilla will be right on the attack, going through on this 8th lap in order to try and take the lead away. Gingy will be trying to hold on to that podium finish. Bidley and Brookie won't let him have it that easily. And don't count out Yorkie there in 6th place. So it's all to play for in these late stages. There goes Legion. Oh, going to crash in the back. And that was Yorkie who's gone around. So commentators curse striking as Bidley goes around the outside of Gingy here. Yellow flags for the back. That's Yorkie getting himself back into play. 15th will be the best he can hope for now. Darth Grey Fox taking the advantage. And they've got another crash in the back. That's a car around. That's Gopher who's managed to get away with that without being taken out of the race. Here comes Yorkie sliding through. Jono back there in 13th. They may have made contact in some way. Revengezilla right on the back now of Darth Grey Fox. It's Vickers at F1 versus Jana Express on the run for that third sector. Oh, he's got him very late around the outside. He might actually be able to pull that one off if he manages to keep traction around the outside. Not a chance. Darth Grey Fox still holding on to the lead, but only for a moment. There goes Revengezilla up the inside. He's going to take the lead here as they make their way back to the hotel section. Brilliant move there. Made that work spectacularly. Yellow flags for the back. And who is that for? Contact between Jono and Magyus are there in the final sector. Both of them away. Go for lucky he didn't get there a second or two earlier as Revengezilla sets the fastest lap, but Bidley quickly swipes it off of him. Not too much longer left to go now. Just 2 more laps as it stands. Legion there in 6th place. Fungus down 8th. Bidley trying to hold on to that podium place. Magyus into the pit lane. Gopher stays out. You might be able to have a last 2-lap scrap with Jono and Yorkie when the DRS gets deployed. But he needs to hold himself back into range. We're waiting for one more lap for the DRS to have any sort of effect. Gingy trying to get back 4th place off Brookie as they make their way towards the left-hander. Yellow flags for the back once again. Brookie holding on to 4th for the time being. Legion Miska on the attack on the inside of Gingy there. Out of nowhere, he's moved up into 5th place. But Sander might try and swipe 6th. He came from last place doing that. But here comes Fog and Fungus up his inside though. Looking underneath and gets the power down, the job done. Gingy, his teammate, being his next target. Yellow flags, and that is Mars Bar who's gone around. So any chance from scoring points out of the window. The top 8 more or less set unless something goes wrong for one of them on this final lap. And Revengezilla now out of DRS range. That's where he needs to be. He's just 1 more lap away from victory in this sprint race. To give Vickers F1 the best start to the weekend they could with the race victory. At least in the sprint, there'll be a couple extra points for them. Final lap now, DRS deployed. It'll be a race for second here. I see no reason why Bidley won't make a move on Darth Grey Fox for second. Sander managed to make it past Gingy. Only a few cars actually in DRS range. That battle for second will be the most important one here. Off the corner they come. It's going to be a good run. Bidley using every last bit of battery he's got. Darth Grey Fox has nothing left. He won't be able to catch Revengezilla, sort of short of something going wrong for the Vickers F1 machine. Bidley couldn't quite get the job done there, but Darth Grey Fox gone a little bit deep into the corner and on the exit. This is where the DH driver shows his stuff around the outside. DRS deployed. They'll go side by side towards the left-hander for the final time. And Bidley takes second place. Yellow flags for the back, and that's a 3-car pile-up. Yorkie, Marsbar, and Sean Gregory there, all involved. Jono again with no front wing, but up front none of them are stopping Revengezilla, who lay in wait over the course of that last lap, the last couple laps on the safety car. He's taken advantage, and now he's up front, closing to the last corners to take victory in the sprint race, and he will start on pole for the main race itself. Over the line, Bidley for second, almost running into the back of that car. Darth Grey Fox third, Brookie in 4th. Legion 5th, that'll be a great boost for him to finish second in the Drivers' Championship. Fungus in 6th, Sander 7th, and Gingy, the pole sitter, taking the final points in 8th. SMA in 9th. Instance further back galore. SMA in 9th, Marsbar 10th. Yorkie comes home in front of Gopher and Sean Gregory. However, Yorkie gets a 20-second time penalty for corner cutting and gaining a place. And Magyus, who's done so well these last couple of weeks, will be the last driver to finish. Maxwell, Yorkie, Saint, Diamond, and Jones all failing to finish this race. So it's Revengezilla then who wins. A sprint race marred by 2 safety cars, unfortunately. We'd like to see more racing. So it's a good thing we've still got 29 more laps of action, I should think. Not quite sure how many laps we'll have in this race. I'm thinking it's around 28, 29. But there are your sprint race results once again. Revengezilla wins, Bidley second, Darth Grey third. The top 8 all scoring points from this one to start things off. Legion now putting himself, that's 4 points clear of Gopher in the Drivers' Championship. Thanks to Gopher finishing down in 11th place. We're home for more in the race. we get to in a moment's time. Let me know your thoughts of the sprint race down in the chat. And who's going to win the actual race? Remains to be seen. Just waiting now for the main race to get underway. Very exciting sprint. Unfortunately, taken up a good deal by those two safety cars we had. Hopefully things will be a bit cleaner in this Grand Prix. Of course, the championship still at stake. Vickers F1 ran a good start to tonight's racing by taking victory in the sprint. So I think that they may have closed that gap on the leaders' gap F1 just a little bit. However, it might not be enough unless something goes wrong for the championship leaders tonight. So it's still all to play for. As we get ready now, the final 30 seconds before the race gets underway. Things in terms of the starting grid remaining the same as they were in the sprint. Five more seconds now. And here we go. So formation lap now getting underway once again. Things opening up now a little bit more in terms of tyres. So a couple of cars who are going away from the mediums. Brookie Min starting on the hards. Got three cars in the mid pack there. Gopher, Sean and Jono starting on softs. Yorkie also on the hards and Saint on the hards. So looks like Yorkie, Saint and Brookie will be going further into the race on that first stint. They're hoping to have a clean start to this one. Hope that nothing goes wrong for them. Or saw in Brazil, an incident at turn 1. Unsure as to what Revenge is doing there. I think he's taking the old track. He won the sprint, so he knows his way to the top step of the podium in Abu Dhabi. Rookie flying up through the order there. These guys think we've already gotten away for the race. Soon he's probably being told now to stop. There we go. So it should be a very exciting one then. Things all still to play for. Legion Mist now 4 points clear of Gopher in the Drivers' Championship. Gopher, of course, starting on those softs. So you're looking for a good start. However, he needs to outscore him by 5 points in order to take back second place. Of course, the Drivers' Championship, unfortunately, already wrapped up. Fungus cleared that a couple of races ago. There's a predicted pit stop strategy. Wouldn't pay much attention to it. Revenzilla now leading us through the final corner. as of right now, 2 Gap F1 cars starting in the top 10 for this one. 2 Vickers F1 cars starting in the top 10. Sean Gregory and Diamond, they'll be the 2 who need to get themselves up the order early on in the case of Vickers F1. And as for Yorkie and Magyus, they need to also get themselves into gear and try and push forward as much as they can in order to try and make sure to play their role in hoping that Gap F1 wins the Constructors' Championship. Sano and Billy both disqualified for going too far out their grid slot, as was Yorkie. Does everyone else in the back get away with it? Saint doesn't, unfortunately. Regardless, they're back in now for the start. And here we go. 5 red lights for the final race of the URC Season 3 here in Abu Dhabi. Revengezilla and Bidley on the front row. Lights out, foot to the floor. Go, 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 go. Who gets the better start is Revenge on the way down towards that first corner. Darth Grey Fox takes away second place at a car, almost skidding further back there through the first corner. Bidley and Darth side by side. It's getting very squirrely there in the mid-pack, but everyone's got away nice and clean here. No damage for anyone by the looks of things so far. Revenge has had a brilliant start there. He gets away by about a second already. Legion missed up into third. He's had a lightning start as he makes his way to turn 5. Might try and go for second here. Not worth it. Darth Grey Fox dropping quickly here. Everyone nice and clean so far in this open lap. Hoping not to jinx it. Darth Grey Fox chasing Brookieman on the run towards that left-hander. He's going to go late on the brakes if he can make it work, but Brookieman outbrakes himself. Sander there up and trying to take away 5th place if he can. Forced around the outside. There goes Essamena dropping further back. He's going side by side with Marsbar now for that 7th spot. While further ahead of them, Sander trying to move in front of Darth Grey Fox. Vickers versus Jana. Oh, a bit of a collision further back. Marsbar skidding. Kept the car out of the wall, but falling through the field. And there goes. And that's Gingy. The pole sitter from the sprint who's got around. That's given Gopher damage as well. Unfortunate start to the Grand Prix for both cars here. Gingy's got over that damage. So, because his further back has lost an obvious amount of track position. And Gopher now with no front wing. That will not help his chances to finish second in the Drivers' Championship. Revenge leads the first lap then. Sander and Essamena still going at it further back. Essamena's got Magyus all over him now, who's had a brilliant start. Let's have a look at those position changes here. So Magyus has gained 8 places. Yellow flag, sector 1, and that is Sean Gregory's on around. He's lost an end plate, so that won't help his case. He's going to turn the car around now, get himself back on the track. Anything can still happen. So things are looking good now for Gap F1 if they weren't already. Despite Vickers F1 having one of their cars in the lead. Brookieman and Bidley going side by side. Or Brookieman trying to make a move. Didn't quite make it stick, but almost ran the car into Darth Grey Fox's machine just behind them there in 5th. Essamena and Fungus going at it. The Drivers' Championship leader and current, and as it stands, winner versus Essamena there, the DH machine. Fungus looking at it once again. Trying to make up those places. He's had a brilliant season. I'm sure I'd like to cap it off with another win here. And there's contact further back. And that is Magyusa. And Magyusa keeps going. But Jono's out of the race. And the safety car has been... I think the safety car. Will it be a virtual? It's going to be a real safety car. Damage from Magyusa. He's going to have to pit for that. But... end of lap 2, or midway through lap 2, once again, it's a safety car being deployed here in Abu Dhabi. Not how I would have wanted to start things. Sander already taking advantage into the pits now, as is Diamond. 5-second penalty for Sander for speeding in the pit lane. That won't help his case. Magyusa and Jones also in as well. John, an unfortunate end to his season. He's out of the race already here. Sean Gregory with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And Brookieman 5-second penalty for a severe collision. So these two have obviously run into each other in some way. Front wing change for Sean Gregory. And away he goes. And Gopher spun out further back. So the 18th place for him. Bidley there in third, running behind Legion Mist and Revengezilla. Legion Mist up to second now. He's had a brilliant start to this race. So while we have the opportunity here, I'm going to try and work things out in terms of the in terms of the constructors championship. So 26 points for Revengezilla in the case of Vickers F1, but then those are only points they have their hands on right now, so it's not looking good for them. Fungus will have 8 points to his name as it stands, and Yorkie will have 4, so 12 points. So as of right now, Gaff F1 are losing ground in the championship, and Vickers F1 are gaining it. However, it's not enough at this stage. Legion Mist back now down to 4th. I think he must have moved a bit too much. I'm thinking we're getting going on lap number 5. Legion Mist into the pit lane now. So he might have damage. So front wing change, and in terms of tyres, it's a fresh set of hards. Sean Gregory also back into the pit lane. So here they are then, Revengezilla currently in the lead. For Bidley second, Brookie in third, Darth Grey Fox in fourth, Fungus fifth, SMN 6th, Yorkie 7th. Maxwell 8th. He's had a brilliant start here, making things up from the crash in the sprint race. He's getting 8 places. Taken up to 9th, Yorkie in 10th. He's currently the last point scorer. Gingy 11th, Sander 12th, Diamond in 13th, Marswell 14th, Maghughes is 16th. Sorry, Maghughes is 15th, Jones 16th, Gopher 17th, Legion Mist 18th, Sean Gregory 19th, and Jono, the first driver, out of the race. So very unfortunate for him. We'll continue on. Apologies if anyone heard that. So now it's waiting to get back on the way here. I shouldn't think we get going on this lap, unfortunately, as we're still waiting for Sean Gregory to close back in, unless we get a late chance at a restart. I doubt we will. So no, there we go. A late restart after all. Safety car in this lap. Right then. You're getting back to being right underway. Revengezilla trying to move away as quick as he can. Off the last corner, he had 6/10s out of that last turn. He's got 8 by the restart. We're back on the way on lap number 5 here in this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Yellow flag already. Well, nothing's gone wrong, so I'm not quite sure where that's come from. Revenge leads. There goes Darth Grey Fox, taking away third. There's chaos further back. Oh, sorry, I'm just losing one. There's a couple of slow cars further away. Oh, there goes set around. He's been turned there by what looks to be, it might have been Brookieman. I'm not quite sure. Is Yorkie Bar there in 9th place as it stands, but unfortunately for Saint there, who's now dropped all the way to the back of the pack. He's got work to do at this stage in the race, but there's still plenty of time left to go. We're only on lap 5. Fungus now passing Darth Grey Fox, but he's 2.5 seconds back from Bidley and Revengezilla, who've pulled out to a significant advantage. Yorkie Bar passing Brookie Miller around the outside here as they exit the corner. Oh, very close there between Sander and Diamond is waiting to back up through the order. So be very careful in terms of braking through the hotel section here, because you don't know when the car behind you, or sorry, the car in front of you will slam on the brakes, and it might cause you to lose your front wing. So really entertaining battle going on further back here. Look at how intense this is getting. And looks like Brookie Min gets away with the best of it. SMA into the pits. Might have picked up damage. Oh, car around for the back, and that is the Jones machine. Who begins lap number 6 now this race. With what, I'm not sure if he's got damage or not. I think he's gotten away okay. Estimator into the pits though. As I said, fresh front wing, soft tyres. DRS being enabled on the next lap. Sander passing Brookie Min, Gingy passing Yorkie Bar. These two going side by side. Bit of wheel bang in there. Both of them really getting the elbows out. Gopher up the inside trying to take advantage. Yorkie Spark's got a broken front wing. He's lost his left end plate. And Gopher charging past both cars here on the run down towards turn number 6. He's gone a bit wide there. He's outbraked himself slightly. Oh, Yorkie's has straight turned. Legion missed there. Excuse me, sorry, he's turned Gingy. Well, my apologies. He went past as changed the thing, but yeah, that was. I'm not sure what he's trying there, but he's lost his front wing, so Karma, at least in Mars, not quite sure what happened there. Sander there in 8th place, one of 2 cars on soft tyres. Brookie Min leading Mars Bar in the race of P9. DRS now enabled. And it's Billy's mission now to get himself back within that 1 second range. Yellow flag, and that is Saint who's gone around. Has he got damage? I think he's going to be okay. Yes, he is. So he's narrowly missed the wall here. 9/10 separated, or 9/10 were separating Bidley from Revenge. But he's going to have the DRS for the first time tonight. That front wing flap going open. Let's try and gain a 10th or 2 maybe. So we can stay within DRS range. Everyone quite spaced out here at this point. Mars Bar in the chase against past Brookie Min, take P9 away from him. That's an extra point for 9th compared to finishing in 10th. Who'll be last on the brakes into the corner? Looks like it's going to be Mars Bar. Brilliant move there from the Janner Express machine. Up into 9th place. Sander will be his next target, but he's already busy trying to pass his teammate. 3 Vickers F1 cars now in the points. Fungus, LWS Yorkie, the only 2 in the points for Gap F1. If those 2 were to fall out of the top 10, then things would be looking very good for the Vickers F1 team, as that would move them up. That would move Sean Gregory up into the 10th spot, which would be another point towards their charge. In this case, I think right now the job for them is to stay out of trouble. Billy's closing in on Revenge Zero, there's no doubt about that. The DRS definitely helping his case here. Yellow flags further back in sector number 3. And who was that for? Oh, Saint goes around again in the same place he did last lap. Matthews now sets the fastest lap of the race. And could that be a sign of some kind? He's making his way back up to the order. Oh, as I say that, around he goes to contact with Brookie Min. Yellow flag exit turn 1. It's a good thing no one's coming through there. Brookie Min around again. Matthews are getting himself going. Up front though, Billy's closed in. That gap around half a second as it stands. Diamond Douche passing Maxwell. These 2 going at it. Billy's chasing looking to try to take the lead. Green flags now back out further back. Saint passing Brookie. So while 3 of the DH cars running 13th, 14th and 15th, the 4th one is up here chasing the leader. LWS Yorkie in 5th place. Diamond in 6th. So things are now looking good for Diamond, who's set to try and take away 2nd place in the Drivers' Championship. At different points tonight, each of those 3 drivers has held that 2nd spot as Maxwell loses out to Sander. However, I feel like that may have been the smart thing to do. Of course, he's the team principal there, looking to try and get his team to the Constructors' Championship in any way he can. Of course, they've made a brilliant comeback from when they were ALS F1 earlier in the season. Car around, and that's Sainto for the 3rd time into I believe it's 3 laps, around in the exact same spot. So Saint does not like that 3rd sector. I'm not sure it likes him very much either. DRS about to be deployed now for Bidley. He's got his best chance yet to take the lead away from Revenzilla around the outside. This will be a big number of points. Brookie Mins out of the race, retiring in the pit lane as Bidley takes the lead. Around the outside, there he goes. And that is now 7 points lost for the Vickers F1 team. They currently sit on 32 points in tonight, to my knowledge. So only getting 7 points this down, so it's not looking good for them. They need to get their cars further up the order, or just have Avenger take back that P1. It won't be easy because Fungus is on the chase. A win for the Drivers' Champion would definitely lock up the Constructors' title for Gap F1. So he's still pushing. Constructor-wise, this season's been brilliantly competitive. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for the Drivers' Championship, where Fungus has more or less completely run away with it. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go to try and defend his title in Season 4. Fungus already into DRS range. LWS Yorkie, it's 4 seconds back to Diamond. Yorkie now trying to pass Darth Grey Fox on the run towards the left-hander. Not quite making it stick just yet. He'll have a good run on the DRS next time around. Yellow flag, Sector 1, and that is Jones who's gone around. Being careful for Gingy and Legion Mist. Revengilla trying to take the inside line into the hotel section. Not quite making it work. Lap 11 now this race. Fungus within DRS range of the two leaders. Diamond closing in on Darth Grey Fox. 3.5 seconds separating them. Sander unable to get away from Maxwell and Marsbar. Marsbar now up into 8th place. It's going to be a good points haul as it stands for Jenna Express. Coming into this one, 201 points scored from the season. DRS now for Marsbar. I'm sure Max won't be too happy to see that his teammate is about to overtake one of his cars on a day where they're trying to win the Constructors' title. Sander goes a bit wide there. So it's Marsbar up into P7 now. Renzo still right there behind Bidley, trying to make something happen. But all the while, Fungus sneaking up behind them, looking to make something happen. Gingy 3-second time penalty. Gingy had 11 seconds to his name. On to lap 12. 18 more laps in this one. Sean Gregory and Gopher currently dueling for the last point of the season. That will be dealt out later. Magusa sets the fastest lap once again. Revenzilla needs the lead back from Billy here. He might have a good chance to try and get it now. So he forced a long way round. But if he can go later on the brakes, he might have a good chance of reclaiming it. There he goes. And that is the lead once again for Revenzilla, but Billy will come right back at him though. Jones 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Darth Grey Fox 3-second time penalty for track limits warnings. Billy there, unable to take it back. So Revenzilla up into the lead for the moment, but for how long can he hold on to it with both Bidley and Fungus now breathing down his neck? It's been a brilliant race for the lead so far. Out the hotel section. Provenzela calling it quits now. Into the pit lane he comes. Both the other two leaders stay out. Medium tyres. For Provenzela now. Be hard to, I assume, the end of the race. Short for safety car. In which I have no doubt he'll put on a fresh set of softs. Sander and Maxwell into the pits as well. Yellow flag, sector 1, and who's that for? That's for Darth Grey Fox, who's gone around. If I didn't know any better, he was almost about to come back up in front of Mars Bar. So it's very lucky he didn't do that. Sander, a bit of a slower stop for him. He got a penalty to serve, if I'm not mistaken. So he's away now, but out in P12 and on those hard tyres. It shouldn't be too much longer before we see Bidley and Fungus into the pits as well. Yorkie Bar out the pits. Jones currently sitting back there in 18th place. Now, will we see either one of these two leaders into the pit lane this time? Looks like both of them are coming in. The way they handle this stop will be crucial. Keep an eye on where Renzilla is. I should think he'll retake the lead. Neither car actually into the pit lane yet. There they go. Or into the pit boxes, sorry. Both cars out of the pits with Renzilla now back up into the lead. And could have it by a bigger advantage this time. We're back into a net first place for the moment. RWS Yorkie holding the lead for the moment. Yellow flags further back, one of the DH cars. I'm thinking that was Essimaner. So LWS Yorkie, the current leader. Diamond back up in second. Mars Bar third. Revenzilla fourth. 2 seconds or so clear of the other two leaders. And there goes Jones around. Things not looking good for DH. One of their cars challenging for the victory. The other three outside of the points. Far outside the points. It's unlikely in any way that that Prawn GP will actually pull it off and actually pass them. Due to the fact they've got one car in the points right now and two of them out of the race. I'm thinking it's out of the realm of possibility, short of potentially a 1-2. Which is going to be quite a tough ask at this point, considering Yorkie Bar's down there in 17th. Sanders sets the fastest lap. 1 minute 27.004. Legion Mist right behind him there in 13th. In terms of stops, only LWS Yorkie yet to make that first pit stop. So we should see Diamond and Mars Bar. We shouldn't be so long till we see them back in the pits. Gingy into the pit lane for a fresh set of hard tyres. We're going to the end on those. These three have to go a little bit longer on their tyres in order to, or at least in LWS Yorkie's case, you have to go at least to around lap 17, 18 before he can pit for either medium or soft tyres. As it stands right now, 3 of the Vickers F1 cars in the points. 2 very strong Gap F1 cars up into the top 10. One of them with a penalty. 5 seconds. Prove my point. Fungus sets the fastest lap. Sean Gregory into the pits now. Renzel trying to pass Marsbar here. Marsbar almost playing the team game for Bidley to allow him to get back into the frame. Of course, metaphorically, they're on the same team. Renzel around the outside. Marsbar really squeezed him there. Quite a lot of aggression. I think there's glitching between Marsbar. There goes both cars! Ravenzilla and Marsbar both out of the race. Safety car deployed. And all of a sudden, this race thrown into chaos. And the championship looking to be more or less over for Vickers F1. Gap F1 now seem on course for the title. What the hell happened there? This now gives Yorkie and Diamond a free pit stop, essentially. And that'll allow Yorkie to more or less maintain, if not the lead, then a points paying position, and a high one at that. All of a sudden, on a day where it looked like Vickers could potentially swipe the championship title from under the noses of Gap F1, in one moment, all of a sudden, it's all fallen apart for them. It's all gone wrong. I wouldn't say it's completely over, barring a collapse from all three of those cars. It'd be very unlikely at this stage. Those two very aggressive with each other, Marsbar and Ravenzilla, who's been brilliant. The sprint, of course, the sprint race winner, could have potentially swept both races, and that would have been brilliant stuff for Vickers F1's Constructors' Championship hopes. But this is going to end said hopes. More or less. Fungus and LWS Yorkie now second and fourth. And that is a 30-point haul in itself. Whereas only 18 points now for Vickers F1. So they'll be losing out big time here. They need Sean Gregory and Sanders to get themselves higher up the order, and preferably for most likely Diamond now to win the race. It'll be their main hope to take the top step of the podium in these late stages. So number 18 now. We've got 11 laps to go. The light's starting to come on here in Abu Dhabi. Sander will probably go one lap up. Yeah, he's going one lap on the intermediates, and now changing them. If anyone sees some issues with the stream at any point, so let me know down in the chat, please. Be helpful. But yeah, so in terms of that Constructors' Championship, it's not looking good. At least as good as it was. The picture not as rosy now for Vickers F1. Of course, as I said, came into this one 40 points back. And now they may leave Abu Dhabi even further back than they were before. I'm thinking I'll have to wait for both Saint and Jones to catch back up before we get underway again. So I'll be underway most likely on lap number 20, and that'll be 10 laps to decide the season. At least in terms of that Constructors' Championship. So the situation is simple for Vickers F1, or at least for Gap F1 it's insanely simple. In their case, for Vickers F1 they now need to have all three of their cars in the points up in decent points paying places. If they don't get that, then it might just about be over for them. Because I don't see any way in which the Gap F1 cars have things fall apart for them in the space of these next 10 laps. Billy again up there alongside a safety car. He's got this looking the best in terms of where he's been this entire race. He's been up there throughout this entire Grand Prix, and now he's in the lead once more. So Fungus there in second, who we're looking to try and take advantage on the restart. To try and take that top spot. If he can pull away with it, then that will definitely be the last nail in the coffin for Vickers F1. And in terms of that second place in the Drivers' Championship, it's going to go to Diamond at this stage. Gopher's down in 7th, and Legion's down in 10th. So it's not looking good for either one of those two cars. They need to end this race in front of Diamond, who will be no doubt focused on winning the race. More focused on what's going on in front of them than behind. There's a safety car now in this laps. Here we go. 10 laps to finish off the third season of the URC. Bidley there in front. Fungus running in second. There's your position change. Diamond has gained 16 places from this. We're looking to try and close that one out. Started in 19th. He's up to 3rd. As Legion missed, dropping down the order here, he's lost his end plate. If Vickers F1 can get their remaining 3 drivers higher up in the points chase, and if something goes wrong for the Gap F1 cars, then they could still be champions. It's all to play for here. But I have to stop Bidley first. He's got away with a brilliant restart already, and Fungus sticking right with him, and not as much as he might have liked. LWS Yorkie go on the attack here on the run towards that first corner. Not going to try and make a move just yet. Bit too early to go for it. Speaking of going for it, it goes Gopher. Going for a late charge, but here comes Magus up his inside for 7th. Great move there. Sean Gregory and Thunder now up into the points paying places, but have some work to do in order to catch up to Diamond. Oh, there's contact between Yorkie Bar and Esselmaner there as they fight for P11. No points on offer. Sander, they still have to discuss who's the faster car, who's going to have more chance going towards the top point scoring positions. Sanders in the mediums. I'm thinking it would be him. Diamond's still right there behind Fungus, but LWS Yorkie is not giving in. They'll go around the outside. Hoping nothing, at least for Gap F1's case, that nothing goes wrong for them in these last laps. Now will Yorkie try and take away second, or will he see Fitz try and follow Fungus home? Whatever choice he makes has to be a good one. Because if what he does puts 2 of their cars out of the race, things will get a lot easier for Vickers F1. It's already quite a mountain they've had to climb. And speaking of Vickers F1, their team principal Maxwell up into the 5th position here. He's had a very quiet race so far. He's been hanging around those points. We've been within the points more or less all evening. If something goes wrong further ahead, he could put him on the podium. But I'm sure he'd rather one of his team cars up there try and finish the season off strong to try and get close. If they can't win the Constructors' Championship, get as close to Gap F1 as they can. But it'll be a difficult task right now. Those two running second and third, Yorkie and Fungus. They've got to move them somehow. Yorkie on the chase. Fungus looks like he'll cede. Might try and line up to get the place back. Going into turn number 10. Excuse me, sorry, that's turn 9. My mistake. The top 4 have really managed to get away. Matthews are now chasing Maxwell. They go side by side on the run down towards that 9th corner. It's a dead heat between them. Matthews gets the edge. Maxwell cedes. Diamond all over Fungus here, looking to try and make something happen. He's got whatever it is, he's got to make whatever move he wants to make, he's got to make it quick. I don't think he can wait too long. That DRS will get enabled. And if these two pull away, that'll be the end of it. Fungus might be trying to just hold up Diamond in some way so that Yorkie can get away, and that'll be at least 18 points secure. And that will more or less be the championship. DRS now enabled as Yorkie sets the fastest lap. The extra point now going back to the Gap F1 team. Yellow flag for the back in at the last corner. And who is that for? Oh, no, that was for the 2 Vickers F1 cars. Sean Gregory and Sander, both around. Sander's got damage. Sean Gregory now has no front wing. And I'd say that is it. Safety car deployed. If it wasn't already, then I'd go as far to say Constructors' Championship over. Things going very, unfortunately, wrong for Vickers F1 in these late stages. So, safety car here with we'll have 7 laps to go as they cross the line. Sean Gregory's locked out a bit here. Be able to change that front wing. Sander going past safety car. Legion missed his chances, no doubt, of finishing in 2nd place in the Drivers' Championship. More or less over. Despite how good it looked for him in the sprint, things have really fallen apart for him. Billy into the pits here. And Fungus also in as well. So these two are probably go on soft tyres to get to the end. Maggie just stays out. That'll put him up into the podium places in 3rd. However, I feared Diamond Ducey may have made the wrong choice by staying out. This puts Max up to 4th here. He'll definitely get to the end of those hards. They'll definitely go the distance. A lot of cars now onto softs. Sainto back in the points. He's been fighting throughout this evening to get back in the top 10. He's now there. The question is, can he hold on? And Gingy, out of nowhere, now up in 5th place. Jones and Billy there in 6th and 7th. Fungus now 8th. Go for 9th. Saint in 10th. Everyone from 7th down to 16th on soft tyres now. And now we're just waiting for those cars to get to the back of the pack so we can go racing once more. I'm thinking we're restarting on lap 25. It's looking like both championships are more or less decided in terms of the fights that have been taking place tonight. Oh, got a car around. I think, and that was Maxwell's gone around. So he's now fallen a long way back to the pack. And I doubt he'll be able to make some back up now. So that's unfortunate. A chance at potential podium looking like it might have been potentially thrown away there. Maxwell now into the pits. Soft tyres, no doubt going on that car, unless it's got damage. Regardless, he'll be back in the pack. There'll be 5 more laps of racing to finish this season, get himself as high as he can. Coming into tonight's race, only 15 points for him scored this season, 4 of which came in the last race in Brazil. So LWS Yorkie then now leads. Diamond second, Magyuja third, and Gingy fourth. All 4 Gap F1 cars in the top 7. Only one Vickers F1 car in the points. The championship looks all but finished in both respects, unless Gopher can do something about Diamond up there in second place. He's on those soft tyres. The whole pack now back together. Avengezilla, Marsbar, Brookie Min, and Jono all out of the race. 16 cars after the running Yorkie bar spun out there. Unfortunate for him. I'm hoping it doesn't impact the safety car coming in this lap. No, it doesn't. Safety car coming in. Right then, here we go. This is where it all comes down to. 5 more laps of racing to decide who wins the final race of the season. Diamond now. They're in second. If Vickers want any chance at winning the constructors, they'll need something to go wrong for Gap F1, and he'll need to take the lead as well as withstand the charge of 10 cars on soft tyres, as well as 3 Gap F1 cars who have looked very strong tonight, and of course Jones back there as well. Don't count him out despite being on the oldest tyres in the pack. Yorkie trying to get away fast. As I approach on quite thin tonight. Diamond Ducey and Yorkie getting away quickly. 5 more laps to go to decide the championship. Back to racing here. Bidley on the move, trying to get past Jones immediately towards turn 1. Fungus also looking around. The Drivers' Champion goes a little bit wide there. Gingy's fallen back. The points that Gap F1 need might mainly be down to Yorkie and Magyuza. Gingy struggling there. And Fungus needs to fight his way past both these 2 cars. There's already damage for Gingy. He's lost part of his front wing. He's lost his end plate on the left side. Further back though, it's chaos as all these soft tyre runners fight for the last few points they can score. Jones looking at the inside of Gingy. Bit of contact between the 2 there. Gopher looking inside, but around he goes. Oh, and there goes Sander as well. SMN out of the race. He's gone straight on, looks off into the barriers. Could that be another safety car? I think we might get away with it. No! I don't believe it. It's another safety car. Well, well. This race might not be over yet. Will we see any changes in terms of strategy? Does anyone else come into the pits? Do Yorkie or Magyuza stop? I'm thinking they'll both stay out. Those medium tyres should get them to the end of the race, considering the amount of time we spent in the safety car while they've been on them. Yorkie briefly looking, I think he's either just weaving or may have tried to fake Diamond there. Didn't quite work. Both the hard tyre runners staying out. Sean Gregory into the pits, and that'll move. So yeah, I think Sean Gregory's got damage. Sander with a penalty for multiple warnings. So that'll spell the end of Vickers F1 and in terms of their championship bid. I'm not sure if they can have second place snatched from them here. But if the DH cars can make something happen, it's unlikely. They could maybe take second, I'm not sure. We'll have to see how this one comes to a close. So then we're waiting for those last 5 cars to get back to the order. However, I don't think the safety car, there's a chance the safety car just doesn't wait and chooses to go just get a few more laps of racing in. I think that happens when there's 2 laps to go, so we might be a lap away still. We might be able to get away with having that, but right now this will be the last safety car of tonight, the last safety car of the season. But does it choose to come in straight away? I don't think it will, unless a couple of more of those cars catch up. Sean Gregory, Legion Mist, Big Maxwell, Gopher and Sander, who we're waiting on. It's a tense situation right now. So we have 2 more laps of racing by the looks of things to decide it all. And that Constructors' Championship is more or less done. It'll be a double championship for Gap F1. A brilliant success in this first season of this 5-team system, which has worked brilliantly in Season 3. Definitely a unique take on the way league racing is done. All down to the addition of the player car from F1 2019. Of course, respect must be paid to the admins who have done a brilliant job all season, and to everyone who's managed to show up week upon week to have more or less full grids each time around. The number of reserves, of course, the collaboration with TTL earlier this season. Seen an influx of new drivers. Some of the old ones still there from seasons 1 and 2. And here we go, towards the end of the 3rd season now. We've got 2 more laps of racing left. The majority of the pack on soft tyres. Gingy and Jones, the MMA pack on hards. Mag User, Diamond and Yorkie all on worn mediums. I don't think they're that bad because of the fact we've been on the safety car for a good number of laps. As we have that safety car for the final time this season, the safety car is on its way into the pit lane. Short of everything going wrong for Gap F1 and all 4 of their cars retiring, they've got this Constructors' Championship in the bag. All they've got to do is hold on. But as Abu Dhabi has shown us before in real life, you never give up hope. You never leave before the end. Everything could still go wrong for them on this last lap. All they've got to do now is hang on to the place they've got. When Revenge Zilla went out of the race, it really hurt Vickers F1's chances. It looks like for them, it's more or less it in the title hunt. So they'll be coming home second, unless it all changes in these final 2 laps. Yorkie's not going to leave any chance of that. He's going to try and pull away, but Diamond's right with him. They've already pulled out a second advantage of a Mag User there in 3rd place. 2 more laps to go in the season. Yellow flags for the back. Oh, that's a nasty shot. And that's 2 Gap F1 cars to my knowledge. Fungus and Mag using it outside of the points. All the DH cars out of nowhere. The 3 that are left are now on the attack, on the chase. And it's all kicking off here in these last couple of laps. Mag user out of the race. Fungus down in 13th. York is holding on to the lead. If things keep going wrong, I'm still thinking Gap F1 will win the Constructors. However, if something goes wrong for LWS Yorkie on this final lap, then things could still change. It's unlikely. Gingy is struggling out there. He's really dropping back. Jones, Sean Gregory closing in. Yellow flag, sector 3, and that Sander has gone around. And that might just about bring an end to the hopes. Only 2 cars from F1 in the top 10. Only 2 cars in the top 10 for Gap F1. But as we start the final lap of the URC League Season 3, It looks like Gap F1's constructors. Yorkie's doing a brilliant job here. He's just got to hold on. And he'll be the final winner of the season. Sean Gregory passing Jones here. Looking to get around Gingy as well. Gingy still staying out with that broken end plate. Yellow flag, sector 1, and that's Darth Grey Fox. Sean Gregory looking to pass Gingy as soon as he can. Legion Mist and Saints are going at it. The race for second place in the Drivers' Championship is still over. Looks like Legion Mist will come in third. Gopher, who came into this one second, will finish in fourth. Sean Gregory diving up the inside. Very late in the break. Sanders gone around again. Fourth and second, to my knowledge, won't be enough. With Yorkie up there in the lead. Yorkie now rounding the final few corners on course to take the final win of the season and bring home a Constructors' Championship to Gap F1. The first ever URC Constructors' Champions in this system. Yorkie wins the final race of the season. Diamond Ducey home in second. Bidley will come back to finish on the podium there in third. Legion Mist will take second in the Drivers' Championship. He comes home in fourth. Sean Gregory in the end will take away fourth. Maxwell fifth. Legion sixth in the end thanks to that penalty. Fungus will come in eighth in the end. But Gap F1, to my knowledge, are without doubt Constructors' Champions of the URC. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to Object Fungus. You know he wrapped the title a few races ago. But now it's completely confirmed that he is your URC Season 3 champion. So congratulations to him. Look forward to seeing him defend his title in Season 4. But tonight is Yorkie's glory. Sander, the last car to finish a race this season. 13th place for him. Gap F1 then are URC Constructors Champions, and it's Yorkie, LWS Yorkie, who stands on the top step of the podium as tonight's winner. The Sainto takes the in-game driver of the day. Brilliant race all around. It's been a chaotic one over the course of the evening. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. My first URC race in commentary. And there he is in Yorkie on top. The final time this season in Abu Dhabi. And a brilliant season draws to a close. And Gap F1 are champions. Commiserations to Vickers F1. If Revengezilla was still in the race, they may have been able to snatch it late on. However, things went wrong for them. Of course, Mars Bar colliding with Revengezilla in the mid portion of the race. Apologies if this stream went a bit rubbish towards the end. There wasn't really much I can do about that. I don't know what it is about last races whenever I stream, but it just doesn't seem to go right. Yorkie then wins the race. Let's go to the actual race results. Diamond Ducey second, Bidley third, Sean Gregory fourth, Big Maxwell fifth, Legion Mist in sixth, Sainto seventh, Object Fungus eighth, Gopher ninth, and Gingy rounds out your points paying places. In terms of the points scored from tonight, Yorkie scores the most up all the points from the race. Bidley, one of just a few drivers to score both points in both the sprint and the race. So very exciting one there. To finish off this season, it's been very, very exciting from start to finish. And hope to see you all again next season on the official URC Twitch. So until then,